Hi, Jamie Davis, the Podmedic here in the Physio Control Podcast Studio at EMS World Expo 2014, and we want to thank everybody for checking out what we're doing here in Nashville, Tennessee. And I want to thank our episode sponsor, Aladtec at aladtec.com, and their full suite of scheduling and management products. They were able to hook me up with some innovative people working in EMS, and some of them are using their product, and they wanted to have me talk to them about what they're doing in EMS and also what they're doing with the innovative tools in Aladtec. So I have with me Robbie Tester. And Robbie, tell me a little bit about who you are and what your service is.
Again, I'm Robbie Tester. I'm the administrator for Erlanger Health System's Life Force Aeromedical program. It's a 4-helicopter program that serves 4 states, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama, and North Carolina. And we transport about 2,200 patients a year, and so it's a pretty encompassed aeromedical program.
That's a big area to cover.
It is.
That's now you cover the whole states or just parts?
No, just about 150 miles around Chattanooga, Tennessee, which is where Erlanger is located. Okay. And Erlanger is the level 1 trauma, adult, and pediatric tertiary care hospital. So we have 2 bases in Georgia and 2 bases in Tennessee, and cover about 150 miles.
How do you crew your ambulances? Is it a nurse-paramedic setup?
A pilot, critical care nurse, critical care paramedic.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. And do you do just both medical and trauma, or just trauma?
Yeah, we do both. About 60% of ours is trauma related. The rest are inter-facility transports, and about 40% we go to the scene of the call, working directly with EMS, and the rest we're going to the hospital emergency departments or ICUs.
So a local hospital will call you and say, we need to transfer this person to the critical access center that they need to go to, whether it's a stroke center or a cardiac center or a trauma center.
And Erlanger is all encompassing for adult and pediatrics.
So they can cover all that?
We cover just about everything.
Excellent, excellent. So you guys are using Aladtec, and obviously you've got a lot of scheduling things you got to do. You got all the helicopter crews to schedule. You got to work with the hospital system as well. How are you finding that you're using the Aladtec system?
We've been a customer now for about 6 years, and we were looking for a solution to get more organized, find a better way to communicate with our staff, and use a little bit more consistent approach to scheduling and notifications. So we were an original partner from an aeromedical perspective with Aladtec using EMS Manager, one of their previous versions, and it really has changed the face of how we do scheduling. It's increased our employee satisfaction. We're able to fill shifts quicker. The crews like all the different modalities in which we're able to let them know either via text message or site pager or email, and gives them a lot more freedom to change shifts with not as much what they call bureaucracy with management to get things approved. So it's really helped the employee satisfaction. It's also worked well from a time on task perspective, where the manager's not working as much on the schedule as he is out dealing with other things that they need to be dealing with.
Yeah, I've heard that in multiple people that I've talked to about this, that they find that the employees are just as happy about it as the managers are.
I think if we were to take Aladtec away, we would have major problems with the staff. They really like it. It works well in today's techie society. They like having it at their fingertips, and it just makes their life a lot easier. But on our side, looking at productivity and looking at getting maximum efficiency and keeping our aircraft staffed, it's very important to us.
So what do you do about the forms feature? I know that's a new feature that's out there, and I know a lot of people are using it in a multitude of different ways. I've heard people using their ambulance checklists. I've heard people, we just talked to a guy earlier that was talking about his fire service is using it to track gallons of water flowed when they're doing hydrant tests, because the utility wanted to know how much water they were actually flowing. So it can be used for a multitude of things to collect data. What are you guys doing with it?
We moved all of our aircraft check sheets and bag check sheets to the forms section to pretty much let us go paperless. So each aircraft has an iPad, so they're able to just take that out, do their aircraft checks in addition to their bag checks, and it goes into the system, allows us to query the data see what's happening. You know, are we missing things, or making sure our medication expiration dates are always in order. The state periodically inspects us like every other ambulance service, so we have to show that we have consistent checks and that we're doing PARs appropriately and quality assurance appropriately. So we're doing that. We shifted our timesheets to the form section.
Okay.
That works out well for us. We also have what we call a rapid response vehicle program, which are Ford Explorers. It's all at all of our bases. So that vehicle maintenance record we move to the form section,
Okay.
as well as the equipment check sheets on that.
You're using it all over the place then.
We are. Just about every form that we were doing by hand, we've tried to shift to that just to get away from paper. And being that some of our bases are 2 hours from the hospital, sometimes that paperwork doesn't make it via inter-office mail, and it's easy and quick access.
And increases accountability, because people have to do it. You've got access. Everything's time stamped, and you know who filled it out.
Right.
So you can go back and say this. You said you did this.
And it helps us from just an employee accountability perspective. And if there's ever a question legally or ethically, we can go back and pull that information.
That's great. Well, Robbie, I want to thank you for taking some time.
Thank
I know
you.
there's a lot of stuff here to see at the show. Is there anything you've seen out there walking around that's really caught your eye?
There's been so much, just new products and upgrades, and just talking to other EMS providers, what they're doing and thinking. It's been a great show.
Well, excellent. Well, thanks for coming on.
No problem.
I appreciate
Thank
it. And I want to thank all of you for checking out the program here. We're here in the Physio Control Podcast Studio at EMS World Expo 2014. And we really want you to check out more of our segments. So go over to MedicCast.tv and check out this and other segments like it. And of course, a special thank you to Aladtec.com for sponsoring this episode. I'm Jamie Davis, the Podmedic. I'll wrap up as I always do and remind all of you to remember scene safety, BSI.